Hi, I'm Dr. Cher, and today I want to talk to you about a common conversation I have with majority of people actually before they sign up with me to do a program. And 99% are very worried that they're not going to stick with it. It is very common. The most common description I hear when people do decide to move forward, they're like, I'm really excited, but I'm really nervous. I'm nervous I'm not going to do it. I'm worried I'm not going to stick with it. Now, why do they feel that way? Usually because they have a history. They're bringing their past with them, their past baggage. Whether it's a more recent attempt that hasn't worked and they haven't stuck with it, whether it's years and years of doing weight loss efforts, not sticking with it, yo-yoing, can't maintain it. Any of those scenarios, the bottom line is they're bringing all this sort of worry and concern with them, saying, okay, how's it going to be different this time? Am I going to stick with it? And particularly if you're looking at, an investment of time and effort and energy and money, it's a big deal. Like, why would we want to set ourselves up to fail? Nobody wants to do that. So what I want to talk about over these next few videos is to help you come to an understanding. If you have this worry, think, I'd love to do, whether it's something you want to do on your own, whether it's my program, whatever it is, doesn't matter. When you have the ability to look at, okay, what really set you back last time? What was the reason, the real reason, the underlying reason why you didn't stick with something in terms of weight loss? When you understand the real reason, then you'll understand, okay, so that's what was missing. That's what I needed. That's why I didn't stick with it. Then going forward, you can feel more confident, more assured that, okay, if I can fill that gap, whether you're doing it yourself, whether it's with a program, being supervised program, but if that program or what I'm going to do, I can fill that gap going forward, then you're going to feel more confident, right? That you're going to be able to stick with it. So that's what I'm going to address, is just really help you tease apart, reflect back and think, okay, what was it that was missing? Identify it. Then you'll know what you need going forward so you can stick with it and can achieve the results that you're looking to achieve. I mean, it's much like, when we learn to walk, let's face it, I'm sure none of us stood up on the first time and nailed it and we're marching away. Lots of setbacks, lots of falls, lots of tumbles, banged heads, probably hurt a lot, lots of tears. But we persevered. So just because you've had setbacks in the past, just because you haven't stuck, there's been things that have caused you to not stick with it, that does not need to be how it's going to be forever. So let's get into this. I'm going to focus today just on the things with respect to more body, from a body standpoint, things that would have interfered with you being able to stick with it. And then the next video next week is going to be more about on the mindset side. Again, it's always a mind-body experience, right? And that's why in the approach I use in the program, I call the ultimate goal is freedom in your body, right? That's freedom in your mind, freedom in your body, freedom in your lifestyle. So you can have the body you love, you can live a lifestyle where you can eat well, you know what you need to do, you feel liberated, and you have flexibility, right? You can have some indulgences. So you kind of hit that sweet spot in terms of a long-term lifestyle to just maintain health and wellness. So let's start from a body standpoint. Generally, there's a couple of reasons why people will not stick to it. First of all, the most common one is if you're not getting results, or the results are extremely slow. That was my own personal experience, and that's what led me to this, discovering this whole other method for weight loss, which is ideal for women over 40. This was 7 years ago, but that was certainly my experience. I was doing everything right. Everything. And I was barely losing any weight. By barely, I mean like maybe half a pound in a week. And then the slightest thing I'd be up to. It drove me crazy. And I hear this again from a lot of people where they say, you know what, I just cannot seem to lose the weight. Try it, I stick with it, I just can't seem to lose it. So of course, if you're giving it a good effort and you're not getting results, then of course you're going to give up over time. That's human nature. There's nothing wrong with you doing that, giving up, not sticking with it. That is human nature. It's just what was underneath that was the approach you were using probably wasn't right for your body. There's a lot of different approaches out there for weight loss. And it changes over the years from our 20s, 30s, 40s and on, what our body needs. So it was simply, you just didn't have the right approach. So going forward, now you know, okay, I need to use an approach that's going to be right for my body at this age with the hormonal changes, changes in my metabolism. If you do that, then you'll find that you'll start to get the results. So certainly, I hear this from a lot of clients when they've struggled, they've been really sticking with it. Whatever that they were trying before, like really giving a good effort, they're not getting the results. Over time, of course, they give up. They're not as diligent and eventually probably give up completely. Well, that's one of the things I love is as they're seeing the results or getting the results, they're seeing it on a daily or every other day basis. Of course, that feeds the motivation. Of course, that feeds their desire and their commitment to stick with it and follow through. So it's not that they can't stick with things, won't stick with a plan. It's just they need to see the results, right? Or like, why bother, really, after a while? So that's one of the things is to look at. Think about, okay, is that your situation where you're just not getting the results or the results are very slow, hence why you gave up or you didn't stick with it. So find the right plan. That's the first pillar in my program. I have 5-step principles within the program. It's the game plan. Let's get the right plan first. That's first and foremost from a body standpoint. The other one from a body standpoint is how you were feeling. So if you look back, reflect on a time when you're trying to lose weight, even if you were getting results, let's say it's not so much you weren't getting results, but how you were feeling wasn't great. You're feeling tired, you were feeling hungry, just generally not feeling good. Like if that's how you were feeling, well, that's going to be a big reason for not being able to stick with something. Particularly, and I'm talking sticking with it maybe while you're losing weight, but also even to maintain. If you're eating in a way that your body's not thriving, then your body's telling you something, quite frankly. So maybe not sticking with it was a good thing. Because when done properly, when you're losing weight, no matter what approach you use, you should have lots of energy. You won't be hungry. Digestion is good. Like you feel healthy. Because when you have that, when you're feeling that way, when you're thriving, then it's 10 times easier to stick with a plan than it is if you're, feeling tired and hungry and what's the word now, hangry all the time. And I get this from people, even when they're losing the weight, that they'll like even recently I had somebody, and she was, exercising and she was, watching her diet and being very diligent. Results were okay, but not great, but she really wasn't feeling good. In her case, she was trying to do a keto diet, and it just wasn't agreeing with her. So she felt lousy, right? So then we switched it up, got on to another plan. The plan I used, still based on ketosis, burning fat for fuel, but different food plan. She felt so much better. So, she loved it. And the other thing to really be aware of with respect to being able to keep the weight off is when you're losing weight, ideally you want to be eating in such a way that you can build on that and that can be the basis so that in terms of maintaining your weight. Because you want to choose a plan for losing weight that will carry you into maintenance. You'll eat differently, you can eat more foods, you should be able to have more flexibility with maintenance, that's not the issue. But you don't want to be eating in a way that you're not enjoying, you don't feel good. So the odds of you carrying through on that for maintenance are going to be very slim. And then when you try to change your eating habits dramatically for maintenance, there's a good chance you're going to put the weight on. So this is speaking to not just losing weight, but also maintaining it. So that's for the body, okay? So number one, game plan. Got to get a game plan where you're going to be getting some results. It's going to feed your motivation. You're going to have a much higher compliance, a much higher likelihood of sticking with it. And then also you got to be feeling good, right? You need to feel satisfied. You need to feel energetic, just feel healthy, all those great things. Then you're going to stick with it. So next time I'm going to talk more about the mindset side of it. Though the things from a mindset standpoint that maybe tripped you up in the back. So look on, reflect on your past. Was there anything from a body standpoint that maybe is interfering? And then next week, we'll talk about mindset. Okay? In the meantime, have a great week and I will talk to you again soon. Take care. Bye.